No throne, no battlefield, no temple has witnessed more secrets than the bed. Every night, humanity climbs into one, never questioning the silent history beneath the sheets. But the bed was never just a place to sleep. It was a symbol of power, a stage for betrayal, a gateway to forbidden knowledge. And its story begins thousands of years ago, in darkness. Long before mattresses, springs, or pillows, humans slept on the cold ground. The earth was unforgiving. Insects crawled, predators stalked the night, moisture crept into bones. Sleep was never safe. Then, around 77,000 years ago, deep inside a South African cave, humans made a discovery. They layered grass and ash together. The ash kept insects away. The grass softened the ground. It was the first bed. Not built for comfort, but for survival. And with that simple invention, humanity lifted itself slightly above the earth. A small elevation, but one that would eventually become a symbol of status and power. Ancient Egypt understood something most civilizations did not. Sleep was sacred. To them, dreams were messages from the gods. Pharaohs did not sleep on the ground. They rested on raised wooden beds carved with lions, serpents, and divine symbols. These beds were more than furniture. They were thrones for the night. The higher your bed stood, the closer you were believed to be to the divine realm of dreams. Servants slept on mats, but kings slept above them all, because even in sleep, power must be visible. By the time Rome ruled the world, the bed had transformed again. Romans didn't just sleep in beds, they lived in them. They ate in beds, held meetings in beds, whispered conspiracies in beds. The Roman dining bed, the lectus, was where politics unfolded. Generals discussed wars while reclining, senators plotted betrayals between bites of food, and sometimes assassinations began with a quiet conversation in the dark. The bed was no longer just a place for rest, it had become a chamber of power. Fast forward to medieval Europe, castles were cold, stone walls trapped the chill, and warmth was precious. Beds became fortresses of fabric. Massive wooden frames held heavy curtains that surrounded the sleeper like a private room. But privacy was often an illusion. In noble households, sometimes important guests were invited to share the Lord's bedchamber. Why? Because being allowed near the Lord while he slept meant trust. Kings even held court from their beds. People would enter the chamber while the king lay beneath blankets and fur. Imagine that, the most powerful decisions in a kingdom made while the king was half awake in bed. In 1597, a bed appeared in England that would become legendary. It was called the Great Bed of Ware. It was enormous, nearly 4 times the size of a modern king bed, large enough for at least 8 people to sleep in at once. Travelers came from across the country just to see it. Why build such a thing? No one knows for sure. Some believed it was a joke. Others thought it was a display of wealth. But visitors carved their names into the wood for centuries, leaving behind messages as if they knew the bed would outlive them all. And in many ways, it did. But the bed also carried darker stories. In the royal courts of Europe, beds were places of surveillance. Kings and queens were expected to produce heirs, and sometimes witnesses were required. Royal couples would be escorted into their bedchamber while nobles watched the ceremony of them entering the bed. Why? Because being allowed near the Lord while he slept meant trust. An heir born from that bed could decide the fate of empires. One night in a royal bed could start a war. Today, beds look innocent. Memory foam, luxury pillows, soft blankets. They promise peace, silence, sleep. But every night, when we lie down, we repeat an ancient ritual practiced for tens of thousands of years. We step away from the waking world. We surrender consciousness. We enter dreams. And for hours, we are completely vulnerable. Kings, warriors, scientists, ordinary people, all equal beneath the sheets. Your bed has seen things no one else has. Your fears, your plans, your secrets. It watches silently as your life unfolds night after night. And long after you're gone, someone else will sleep there, dream there, whisper there. Because the bed is more than furniture. It is the quiet witness to human existence, a place where history rests every single night.